That country that they are calling Malaysia, never again in my life.
View as a Black American in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. All right, let's get into it. I would be lying if I left out a little bit, so I'm gonna do the good part. Before I said I was from the USA or before I said I was American, I was definitely looked at very like fucked up. It wasn't like a regular stare. It was like almost like a stare of disgust or a stare of why are you here or a stare of like I don't belong or some shit. Now in Bali, I told y'all Bali was very friendly, very welcoming. Bali was my first Southeast Asian country that I visited, okay? So that was my intro to Asia.
These like 3 Indonesian ladies just came up to me and took a picture. It was so funny, but it was so cute. And they were like, oh.
Malaysia kembali menjadi sorotan usai seorang turis asing asal Afrika mendapat perlakuan kurang menyenangkan di sana. Pelayanan yang terkesan setengah hati, tatapan penuh kecurigaan, hingga sikap dingin di beberapa destinasi wisata membuat wisatawan itu merasa tak sepenuhnya diterima. Pengalaman pahit tersebut menimbulkan kesan bahwa warna kulit masih memengaruhi cara sebagian orang memperlakukan pendatang, kontras dengan citra Malaysia sebagai negara multikultural yang ramah terhadap wisatawan. Namun kejutan terjadi ketika sang turis melanjutkan perjalanannya ke Indonesia. Begitu tiba, ia disambut dengan senyuman tulus, dilayani tanpa diskriminasi, dan bahkan banyak warga yang dengan antusias meminta foto bersama. Suasana hangat yang ia temui membuatnya merasa benar-benar diterima, seolah memasuki dunia yang berbeda hanya dengan berpindah satu negara. Bagi turis itu, Indonesia bukan sekadar tempat berlibur, melainkan pengalaman sosial yang menunjukkan bagaimana keramahan dapat meninggalkan kesan yang jauh lebih kuat daripada sekadar keindahan destinasi.
That country that they are calling Malaysia, never again in my life and go to Sabah. Mind you, my 2 friends are Ugandan and Indian, so one of them is black. We get to Sabah, by the way, in the plane, people were staring at us like the black people. They had never seen black people in their lives. That should have been our first clue. Anyway, we get to Sabah. We go through immigration, which I don't understand why, because it's a domestic flight, but we go through immigration. My Ugandan friend and I hand over our passports to the immigration officers. Then they take the both of us, only the 2 of us, only 2 black people in the line. They take us into a separate room. So we are there alone. And then after a while, they come back in. They hand my friend's passport back to her. But they are like, for me, I'm not allowed to enter Sabah.
Honest review as a Black American in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. All right, let's get into it. I would be lying if I left out a little bit, so I'm gonna do the good parts first, then I'm gonna do the bad parts later. All right, so the good parts: food, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. They have really good food. Yeah, the food's good. Got Chinese food, Indian food, Malaysian food, of course, obviously. Real season. I think I like Bali food a little bit better, only because I was eating more local food in Bali. Here, I'm eating more like tourist food. So yeah, before I said I was from the USA or before I said I was American, I was definitely looked at very like fucked up. It wasn't like a regular stare. It was like almost like a stare of disgust or a stare of why are you here or a stare of like I don't belong or some shit. Now in Bali, I told y'all Bali was very friendly, very welcoming. Bali was my first Southeast Asian country that I visited, okay? So that was my intro to Asia. Came here, no. The looks was like, y'all see I got on my sunglasses. That's for a reason.
Y'all, I'm not even gonna joke. These like 3 Indonesian ladies just came up to me and took a picture. It was so funny, but it was so cute. And they were like, oh. They've definitely never seen a black person in their life, and it's so hilarious. Like, I find it so funny. Like, they will literally be like, and then I'll be like, oh, you want me to take a picture of like you and your family? And they're like, yeah, because like language barrier. And then they stand right next to you. Also forgot to mention, I was literally recording, and so I caught one of the interactions on video, and I'm gonna put it right after this, guys.
that little passive aggressive shit, bro, that they be on when you're not doing nothing, bro. That's one thing I don't like about here. Passive aggressiveness, bro. But for the most part, cool ass city. People were cool, you feel me? I didn't interact with most of them, you feel me? Because a lot of people are not open here, they don't want to interact. And I was watching a racism video on YouTube, and they said, like, as an African kid in school or trying to get housing, bro, yeah, they don't fuck with blacks. Like, they look at you like you're not human or something like that, and they just try to, like, gang up on you to outcast. It's weird. I don't know why everybody...
I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand why. He said, and I quote, "We do not allow your kind here." I was like, okay, I don't want any problems. I'll go back to Kuala Lumpur. No big deal. They now asked me to come and pay for my own deportation. I was like, you guys, you are not serious. I'm a student. We bought these tickets like 8 months ago. They were dirt cheap. I don't have money to pay for another ticket to go back. He was like, okay, you know what? We'll pay for you to go back. As if he was doing me a favor. Then when the time came for me to leave, I was given a police escort back onto the plane and sent back to Kuala Lumpur. My friends couldn't afford to come back with me, so I was left alone by myself in Kuala Lumpur for like 3 days. So to make the most of my time there, I decided, let me go out and see the city. Big mistake. When I would try and go out, taxi cabs would refuse to stop for me in the street because I was a black person. I would go to restaurants and wait staff would not take my order because they didn't want to talk to a black person. Listen, when I was finally leaving that country, on the queue to get onto the plane, 5 security agents in riot gear surrounded me, started asking me questions. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? They took my passport off me. They were flashing it with different lights to see whether my passport was fake. See, if I ever step foot in Malaysia again, my left kidney...
Have you ever faced racism in Malaysia?
A lot.
A
lot, like in school. Personally, of course. Not really, but in a working place.
In working place. Can you spill the workplace? Then we can go. Like, what do they say? What's the most hurtful thing you've ever been, like, said?
Most hurtful one was never been told to my face. Once getting in the lift, the racist slips out, you know. I faced that a lot.
Okay, can I know your race first?
I'm Malay.
You're Malay?
Yeah.
Shh, I thought you were Indian.
I'm not, unfortunately.
Oh, I
Malay.
I'm Malay and mostly I do like racist jokes, so
He exposed himself!
I don't mind. Like I make that as a joke for myself.
You faced racism.
Yes, of course.
Being a Malay in Malaysia.
Of course. Racism is everywhere in the world.
From me, right? Yes, I have experienced racism, even though I am very Malay passing. It's because of my accent, how I look. I don't look like the typical Malaysian, you know?
Yes.
I don't even dress like
You're pretty.
But then there's those people out there, you know? They just like to poke at your fun,
Yeah.
make you feel like terrible
Yes.
for just existing.
Goddamn right.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that, but whatever. Malaysia is still our country.
Very true.
Bagaimana pendapatmu mengenai ini, Sob? Tulis di komentar.